Hello and welcome back to the Fight and Talk 2 channel with myself, Mr. Fight and Talk, aka Connor. This time I am joined by Brian Mad Dog MMA. We just want to do a quick reaction video on the Eryk Anders versus Darren Steward knee. Brian, tell me what happened, man, because he was on the ground, he had his knee on the ground, and then all of a sudden it was a no contest.
Well, unfortunately, these things are going to start, this is going to happen. But I think what is the craziest part of all of this is that it's happened 2 weeks in a row now. Last week we seen Jan do an illegal knee on Sterling, and it was literally all over the internet all last week. It was all over Twitter, and then somebody comes in on the first fight on the main card and does the exact same thing. Now, I don't think that it was thrown with the intent that the Jan knee was, but it was still thrown, and it's just it's baffling that this stuff is still happening and that it happens often.
Even the commentators were running around thinking, what is this? Is this a no contest? Why is it a no contest? And then Brandon said that it was because it hadn't reached the second round yet. I didn't realize that was going to be a factor. If you got illegally kneed in the head, that it had to be past a certain round. I cannot believe, as you said, that this has happened for the second week in a row on a main card at the UFC. Surely someone's got to get penalized somewhere so they don't do this anymore.
But that's the thing though, Connor. I mean, like I feel like when I was watching it this week, it was so much different than what happened last week. You know what I mean? With the Jan and then the Anders thing. It was two completely different situations. And I don't think that Anders deserves to get penalized or anything like that. I don't even think Jan deserves to get penalized, but we have to have a clear, rules meeting, before the fights that, hey guys, when there is a downed opponent, and if a referee says, hey, the opponent is down, there shouldn't be any question in your head or in your corner's head that do not throw the damn knee.
It was also because Darren obviously had his hand up as well. But if anything, this was a lucky escape for Darren because that fight was very, very close to be finished. Very, very close. So I think even though it's a no contest, the real winner here is definitely going to be Darren Steward.
Yeah, and it's funny because even after the fight, I think we both pointed out that Herb Dean still raised up Anders' hand. You know what I mean? Like it was still like Anders was going to win that fight, and I think Herb Dean was even he was close to stopping it in the first place. You know what I mean? So I don't know. This is a tough situation and a tough rule. Actually, it's not a tough rule, is it? I mean, it's just brought to light because it's happened 2 weeks in a row on a main card.
Yeah, exactly. And he is a downed opponent. The referee tells both fighters what the rules are before the fight. He should have known. He obviously had one knee down. It was very, very similar to last week. He did actually have his hand covering most of the shot as well. So I don't know how impaired he was with regards to recovering from that, but it just seemed like Mark Smith last week and Herb Dean this week were doing completely different things and seeing it from a completely different perspective, right?
And kind of, you brought it up before that these guys, I think you and I talked about this last week when you were on my show, is that these referees need to be on the same page. The judges need to be on the same page. The refs, everybody needs to be on the same page when it comes to rules. And if something like this happens, you hit the nail on the head when we talked about it last week, and now it's come to light again, and we need to do it again.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, the fights are still going, and we're going to break this down as well on the Fight and Talk channel. So stay tuned. This was just a quick reaction video with myself and Brian Mad Dog. If you do not follow Brian Mad Dog MMA on YouTube or Twitter or whatever, go hit him a follow and a subscribe. And while you're there, do the same thing for Fight and Talk. And we
Manel Cap is coming back, baby. Manel Cap is coming back. Let's go.
Let's go.